Hi artists! Today we're going to be making a landscape painting. That means a painting of outside using tints and shades. Tints is when we add white to a color. Shades are when we add black to a color. So we're going to experiment with that and thinking about how do we control colors in this way. We're also going to think about a landscape and how do things look when they're farther away or when they're closer. The farther away something is as a landscape, if you've ever noticed, is it gets lighter the farther it goes because all that sky between our eyes and the distance makes it fuzzier or lighter. As it gets closer to us, it gets easier to focus and things get darker. So we're going to start far away and we're going to overlap each layer coming down. Okay, you do not need to make a complicated layer. It can simply be outline of a mountain. If you'd like to add something like trees, you can. But remember, we're only doing the silhouette, which means just the outline. Okay, I'm going to get started. I want you to start with your white and just add a little bit of blue to your white. Now, it's okay. Normally, we want to keep some of our white pure, but for today's assignment, you're just going to mix in a little bit of blue to the white. So now it's very light white. I'm going to add the first layer, and this is just going to be sky. Don't forget to keep your sleeves rolled up. You should be wearing a smock. All right, so at the top of my paper, if you want it to make it easy for your paint to spread, keep your brush wet. I am adding a light blue sky at the top. Now today, normally we would wash, white, blot. I do have our paper towel here if you want to, but because we're only using these simple colors, you don't really need to blot till you get to the black part. Now I'm going to add some more blue. With each layer, we're going to add more blue. So now I added more blue to my white, and it's a little darker than my last layer. I'm just going to make some mountains. This blue looks really cold and icy. And I'm going to keep my brush wet, and I'm going to go down one layer. Okay, now I'm going to add some more blue. And with each layer, I'm going to add a little bit more blue, just like this. Now see there, I covered up, I left a white spot. I went back and covered it up. You don't want any white spots. All right, I'm going to keep going. Now right here, this light blue is almost as dark as my regular blue. So I'm going to mix the rest of my blue into this. And I'm going to make, this is the darkest tint I can make before I start using black because I've used all of my white and I've used all of my blue. I'm going to add some kind of like more jagged edges just to try another type of mountain. Be careful to leave your painting on your messy mat when you get close to the edges. Now I'm down to my last part here, and I'm going to add a tiny bit of black. This is going to be much darker. I like this jagged mountain. I'm going to try a jagged mountain, and I'm just going to finish up this whole bottom section. Okay, now some of you will be interested in adding some details. So I'm going to show you one thing you could do. If this, depending on how far away you are, if you're really far away, these could be mountains. But if you're close up, maybe it's more like ground. And I'm going to add a tree. My tree is going to overlap my background. I'm going to add my dark color. I might even add some more black. Kind of running out of color. That's okay. Okay, I'm going to make a tree in this rocky ground. I'm going to make it like a pine tree. So I'm going to go all jagged on one side and all jagged on the other side. Now some of this blue is going to mix in. That's okay. I'm going to use some lines that look kind of like tree leaves. And I'm just going to go back over it. And I'm going to use my brush strokes to give that feeling. Now, don't worry about details. We don't want birds in the tree or anything like that. You wouldn't see that in this kind of landscape because we aren't close enough, but you can add, okay? If you want to go back over it, it's okay. I've kind of run out of paint. If you run out, you can get more. It's okay. But this is the basic idea. So we made tints. We added light. We made shades or tones. We added black, okay? And then we thought about how things look like they're going in the distance. They get lighter as they go farther away, and they go farther up on the paper. Things far away from us are high up on the paper. Things closer to us are lower on the paper. All right, enjoy painting, artists.